So let's start blocking out the torso body armor. I have a base character here that I've built. I'm going to select the body mesh and make a duplicate of it. Selecting it, and then I'm going to also make another copy of it. This will be the mesh that I'm going to be working on that I can Dynamesh and cut apart. So I turned the subdivision down a couple of levels. Then I'm going to switch to the knife curve brush. This tool allows me to cut out parts of the model and give me a clean surface. Took out the arms because I only want the torso. I'm going to chop off the head as well. So I have this main body mesh that I can work with. Just so I can see it, I'm going to fill it in with a darker color and then use the transpose tool. You can press Y once you're in translate mode to switch to the transpose tool, drag out the ruler, and then shift right click and drag the last circle of the line that will allow you to inflate the model. It's going to smooth out the shape a little bit with the clay brush, fill it in, and using the move tool to adjust the shape. I don't want any musculature on the model surface. You can import in the concept art with the background filled in. As you can see here, ZBrush will give you a cutout of the image that you imported in. Just adjusting the brightness a little bit so it's not too bright on the canvas. I'm going to switch to the selection tool and hide the arms for now. I want to focus on the torso, so I don't want the arms to be in my way. Using the slice curve, I'm separating this mesh into two separate groups. Dynamesh has a group function that will allow you to Dynamesh your subtool into separate meshes if you have multiple polygroups. So here I turned it on, adjust the resolution. Then I can control drag on the canvas to give me two separate Dynamesh. And you want to be careful because if you have other groups as well, they will also be separated. So I had some unwanted groups left over from the knife curve brush. I'm going to have to clean up. So you see around the neck area, when I smoothed it, it gave me some ugly results. So I'm going to isolate the torso meshes using the selection rag tool. Isolate the torso, Control Shift drag, invert the selection, then group visible, and Control drag again to give me a clean Dynamesh result. Switching to my trusty orb crack brush, I'm going to outline the contour for the collar. Slowly building the thickness for the chest armor. Doesn't have to be precise just yet. Just roughing in the shape. I'm going to fill out the volume a little bit more for the traps area. In the concept art, it looks pretty bulky. So I'm using the clay brush to help me quickly build up volume. Using the /3 brush, I'm going to draw out the section for the armor plate. These lines here will be helpful for me to continue adjusting the bigger shape for the chest armor. Again, it doesn't have to be precise just yet. I just want some sort of landmarks for me to compare with the concept art. Just moving the torso up a little bit. For his lats area on the concept art, it also has a lot of volume, so I'm going to use the clay brush again to start brushing it out and adding that shape in. I'm using the clay brush again to push in the section around the neck, hollowing it out. Using the move brush with the AccuCurve option turned on, I'm able to get sharper shape. The AccuCurve option is underneath the curve subpalette underneath the brush palette. Using the Orb Crack brush, I'm going to further define the shape for the neck area, pulling out the planar detail. For adjusting the overall shape for the chest armor, I'm using a combination of Trim Dynamic brush, clay brush, and move brush. The Trim Dynamic brush allows me to clean up the surface a bit, help me pick out planar details. You can choose to use the Alt key to pull surface out to level out the detail, or if you want to shave off surfaces, you can just use as is. Continue to define the plates a little bit more. You see, I'm slowly trying to find that form for the chest armor. Brush. The center for the abdominal area has almost like a column-like form. I'm using the clay brush to fill out that form, filling out the volume for each armor plate, getting the scope to a pretty good point. Then we are going to move on to the arms. I don't want to spend too much time sculpting just yet.